Sorry, it got caught in the microphone. Hello and welcome to another episode of I Stopped Buying Hoyas in May, but here we are again. I have some Hoyas that I received from Camilla and from my friend Carolina from Sweden. So there are quite a few. I'm actually not sure how many there are. Some of them have been in transit for only 2 days, and some of them have been in transit for a week. Aside from that, I also have another very exciting thing to show you. So there are quite a few things on my desk right now. Most importantly, there is coffee, so let's get some caffeine and start. I am gonna start with the biggest bag. That's because I see the prettiest Hoya in there. The first one is this gorgeous cutting of Hoya peninsularis. Now this is the version with the yellow center. There is a version with the red center, but I really did not care what center it is. I really love the leaves. Of course, the flower is very cute as well, but what attracts me the most is this enormous leaf. I also know I said that I will stop buying big-leaved Hoyas, but I think it's very safe to say that if I say something that I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm probably not. So now this one, I have to say, was not my favorite in the beginning. This is Hoya subquintupla nervus, and I'm not sure if I didn't like it because it had root mealybugs, my regular green version. But over time, I kind of grew to like it, and I decided I want to get a variegated one. Now there is one with inner variegation, and that one is extremely difficult to find. It's extremely expensive, so I just decided to get the one with outer variegation. I'm struggling to get it out of the box because another Hoya is tangled. This is Hoya subquintupla nervus with outer variegation. That leaf is actually very big. It's bigger than most of my leaves and my regular green version. I have to say I do love the way it looks. It's not as pubescent as my regular green version. I have to say that one is more pubescent. This Hoya is very easy to grow, very easy to root, and most importantly, it's very easy to get this one to flower. So I'm glad to have it, and I hope that this one will grow well with me. We gotta speed it up, Miro, because there's a lot of them. This one is a bit dehydrated, and that's to be expected because this is one of the thinner leaved Hoyas. This is Hoya pandurata, and I also chose this one because of this dark green leaf. And you can see it has quite an interesting shape to it. It's very similar, I would say, in terms of the flower to Hoya pollinera. These thinner leaved Hoyas tend to ship a bit poorly, but actually would say this one did well. And I think I see some starts of aerial roots, so this will be very, very easy to root. This Hoya, actually, I said last time in my video, doesn't ship well. This is Hoya multiflora, and this is the variegated one. And now I know what mistakes not to make. My previous Hoya multiflora I put in the mix of cocoa peat and perlite, and I just kind of let it sit in the room environment because I thought that was going to be okay. I heard that's going to be okay, but actually with this one, because I would like to save as many of these leaves as possible, I will put it in a closed box. So I will put it in the substrate, but I will put it also in a small propagation box, or maybe a larger one, depends how much space these leaves will require. It seems they will need a lot. But actually the leaf is very, very beautiful. This is the next one. This one I said is on my wish list, and this is Vang viengiensis. Rolls off your tongue. It has a bit of fungal spotting, but I think that's because it was in a closed box, or actually in a closed bag, but that's not a big deal. A lot of Hoyas will get those, but I actually love the way the leaves look. If you turn them a bit, you can see some of this veining, and it is slightly pubescent. It's very also firm. It's surprisingly firm to the touch. This Hoya I was very terrified about. This is the variegated Valiniana, and I don't really know, does this qualify as variegated because it's completely white? I mean, there's a bit of green. It's lovely. Actually, the underside of the leaf is quite gorgeous. In the photos, it does remind me of variegated Heuschkeliana, but actually in real life, it's quite different. Hold on, I will get the variegated Heuschkeliana so you can compare the two. This is my variegated Heuschkeliana, and it did grow quite a bit. So this is Valiniana next to it. The leaf is much bigger, actually, and there is definitely more green. With variegated Valiniana, that is not the case. I heard this one travels badly, so I am very happy that it arrived. I just hope that it will be also very easy to root. This Hoya I find actually very interesting. I saw this one circulating Facebook as Hoya species Vietnam. From Polynera complex. That's completely wrong, by the way. We will not say Polynera complex. People were claiming that this Hoya was related to Polynera. Now, I don't know if that one is the same like this one. The flowers look the same and the leaf shape looks the same, but this is actually Hoya burmanica, and I do love the way these leaves look. I'm not sure how easy this one is to bloom. I hope it is, because so far my Hoya polynera has been quite difficult to bloom. It grows really, really well, but I think it just needs that cooler period, which I cannot really provide in this room. Even now it's close to 25 degrees and there is a lot of humidity, but I think it just needs those cool nights. I don't think this really qualifies as a cutting. It's a plant, really. I think I will actually cut this in several smaller cuttings to make a fuller pot. This is Hoya chinghungensis, if I pronounce that correctly. It's very similar to Hoya bella. It's kind of related to Hoya bella, but it has these very small and very cute leaves. It's been on my wish list for a very long time, but I was afraid about getting this one because, again, I think bella type Hoyas don't travel the best. But since this is a huge cutting, I think I will have no issue rooting this. And it also has a peduncle there. I'm not sure if you can see. So maybe we can even get it to bloom while rooting. We'll see. We did lose a leaf here, but this is Hoya kloppenburgi. The leaves are actually very nice, very firm and big. And there is more to work with here. So I think it will have no issue rooting. There is no rot. It probably was just a damage during the shipping because, you know, it's quite a big leaf. It's quite difficult actually to pack these plants. This is Hoya salata, and it doesn't look like much now. It used to go under the name Hoya pubicalix white dragon, but now it's its own species. I think maybe this is more representative of how the leaf should look like, but the flower on this Hoya is absolutely gorgeous. I actually got it only because of the flower. This is Hoya nathalie, and this Hoya is actually a cross. It gets a very nice red margin when it's exposed to the light. Now, it hasn't been exposed to the light, it's been in the box, but I think under my lights, LED lights, it will start to look very nice again. Not that it doesn't look nice now, but it actually looks a whole lot better with that reddish margin. Now, this is a very odd one and I had to have it because it's so odd. This is Hoya acicularis. Maybe it looks a bit unruly now, but when it gets a bit bigger, it starts to look much prettier, and we do have a peduncle here. So sometimes when you send a cutting with a peduncle, they will actually make it and bloom quite early on. We'll see about this one. Maybe it's not a Hoya for everyone, but I do really like Hoyas like this, like linearis, acicularis, and then retusa. These very different looking leaves. This is Hoya thompsoni, but this is the clone with pink flower. It's actually much more pubescent than my regular one, the one with the white flower. It's kind of like a cat. I don't know, maybe it's not like a cat, but it's extremely pubescent. It may be one of the most pubescent Hoyas that I have, actually. This one is a Hoya from Loy province, or Loy. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but it's supposed to be a type of a verticillata. Now, you cannot really see well on the camera, but there is a lot of splash on this leaf, and there is some veining here. It's very, very beautiful. It's very big, actually. I have no idea where all these big-leaved Hoyas will go. But if it's anything like Hoya verticillata, that means it's easy to grow. Actually, we do have a peduncle here, so who knows, maybe we will see a flower very soon. It actually started to root, in the bag. I don't know if you can see, but one of the aerial roots is activating, so I'm pretty sure that we will have no issue rooting this one. This is Hoya Bella, but this is not the regular Bella. This is the Hoya Bella with white flower, all white flower. And it's quite notorious. I hear it's very difficult to get this plant to bloom. Some claim it's actually much more difficult to grow than the regular Bella. I'm here to test that out, so I had to have it. And I also think I have the albomarginated one, the regular one. Now I'm only missing the one with inner variegation, and the Bella set is complete. This is the tribute for my small-leaved Hoya collection. I think very few of them are small-leaved. This is GPS 7240. It is very, very cute. It's unnamed species, but I had to have it because the leaves actually get more silver on them, and the flowers are very cute. I really am getting into small-leaved Hoyas, I promise, but sometimes when you see a big-leaved one, you can't resist. And the example, it's how could I say no? Also, what is this? It's not very small. I mean, is it the size? It's not the size of my head, but it's the size of a baby's head for sure.
A baby's head is a lot smaller than that.
It's absolutely huge. I have no idea where this will go. When it grows 2 more leaves, I think I'm done. No more space. I love it. I think I forgot to say the name. By the way, this is Hoya Lambi. So there you go. We have our first casualty, I think. Maybe. We'll see. So this is Hoya vitiensis. I do hope this one makes it. The vine is very long, but there are only 2 leaves and they're a bit yellow. So I hope if they fall off that at least the vine will root, and then maybe we will get more new growth. I actually had success rooting just the Hoya vine with no leaves, and I managed to grow Hoya caudata out of it. So let's hope this will be similar. This cute small-leaved Hoya is Hoya species NS05-240, I think. And I actually think I have 2 cuttings here. Both of them look great. And this doesn't look like Hoya that will be very difficult to root. And the last one from that bag is Hoya caudata. Now this is the clone that Toril Nyhaus found. So it has a session number, let me take a look, TN99008. The leaves are a bit yellow, but there are also some green leaves here. As I said before, I already rooted a Hoya caudata vine with no issue, and it started to grow actually from the nodes. It lost all the leaves in the process, so I'm not as worried. They are pretty fast growers too, so I think it just needs to hold on to leaves while it roots and push out a new growth, and I think we'll be okay. Oh my god, Carolina is a angel. I'm gonna swear, but I don't give a She says, because you're awesome, thank you. And because I ate the chocolate I was gonna send. So instead she sent me a cutting of Hoya Bella, the inner variegated Hoya Bella. So now I have them all. I love it so much. She also sent me the outer variegated Bella, and the Bella looks great. It is perfect. My Bella collection is complete. What can I say? And this is the Heuschkeliana with yellow flower. It's quite a substantial cutting, so I'm very, very happy about those. It's getting a bit crazy here. This is Hoya Lobby, and this is the dark flowered one. So now I have the orange, the pink, and the dark flower. This is Hoya puaensis, I believe is how you pronounce it. Tractor? Really? It's very similar to Hoya caudata. I think it will be easy to grow. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Hoya walliniana UT152. I heard that the variegated Hoya walliniana is actually a Cipitagensis. Whether this is true Hoya walliniana, I am not sure. We have Hoya David Kumingi. This is Hoya pusilla, a very small leaved Hoya. It should have a lacunosa type flower. So this is Hoya pusilla BL10-016 and one Hoya vaccinioides. It's very beautiful actually, Hoya vaccinioides. I did in the meantime get another Hoya vaccinioides, but I can tell you it looks much worse than this one. This one looks much better. I have one very exciting bag, but I will leave that for the end. I also got some Hoyas from Asa, from Swedish Hoya Society. Let me try to get those out. If I'm not wrong, this one should be Hoya species UT033. The leaves can get a bit larger and a bit more red. This one has been in the shipment the longest. It arrived to Carolina first, and then they stayed with Carolina a bit, and then they went to Camilla and they came to me. So I think this was probably 3 weeks in transit. Of course, they were rooting in the process, but we didn't have time to root them. But nevertheless, it still looks okay, and I don't think it will be difficult to root it either. I think this one is the Hoya pubicorolla pink dragon. Again, a lot of roots here. I think I can probably pot this straight away, and there is a peduncle. So I may actually see one of the pubicorollas in bloom, which will be very nice. This one is Hoya Scortecchini. Scortecchini sounds Italian to me, so I think that's the way it should be pronounced. Now, again, it's very difficult to see how these Hoyas look like on the camera, especially when they arrive, they're slightly dehydrated. But this is a very beautiful Hoya, has very cute flowers, but it will take a bit of time. It actually, when it's sun-stressed, it looks very interesting. The veins kind of sun-stressed, but this one obviously isn't. Now, this is Hoya subcalva, I believe. It's quite big, actually, and it already has roots, so I think in a couple of months it will start to look much better. Holy sh**, that's gorgeous. I should not swear on the camera, but holy sh**. This is Hoya erythrina, and first of all, it's a huge cutting. Second of all, it is absolutely wonderful. Again, my camera cannot even begin to fathom the beauty, but it is very beautifully sun-stressed. And it's actually much lighter. It's not as dark in person, but like the splash is sun-stressed. I don't know if you can see that. It is gorgeous. It has traveled really well. I don't really know which is which, so I think I will have to leave them with no ID or to ask Carolina. But these are Hoya blaschernaezi. No, one is red, one is pink, but I have 3, so I'm not quite sure. I really love Hoya blaschernaezi for its leaf, of course for its flower, but the leaf is also very beautiful. Again, much lighter than the camera is showing. Another great thing that arrived are the Hoya cards. These are from Hoya Study Corner on Facebook. These are from Patamate. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. Actually, I'm going to try to pronounce last name because that always bothers me when people don't even try. So from Patamate, Wathana Sakul Charoen? Maybe. Fatamate has a Facebook page, Hoya Study Corner, which has proven very useful for me. And not just for me, but for a lot of people who do Hoya research and who are into learning more about their plants. These cards arrived a couple of days before, and I went through them to look for the flowers of the Hoyas that I will receive. So for example, Hoya salata here, you can see what the flower looks like. But aside from that, on the back of the card, you can see the flower in detail, and you will get some information. On the front, you will see the author, so it's Dale Kloppenberg, it's too many, the publication where it was published, and you will see the distribution. Also on the back, you can see if it has a scent, what the scent is like, the size of the flower. This is David Kumingi, and I actually got it for this flower. I think the flower is wonderful. You will see the close-ups of the flower. You will see that it does have a scent, that it's sweet, like a fermented nectar. Some of these also have pronunciation guides, so David Kumingi. Also, in some of those, you will get the bloom period. So for example, you can see it blooms from evening to early night for 2 days and 3 nights. So you know exactly what to expect from your Hoya. My beautiful sun-stressed Hoya erythrina, except that it's beautiful in leaves, has beautiful flower. Am I holding that upside down? No, I'm not. A lovely yellow flower. And we can see that the author is Richard Rins. It's published in Malayan Journal. It is from Malaya, Vietnam, and southern Thailand. It says it doesn't have a scent. Well, that's not a problem because it has wonderful foliage. These cards are very affordable. One printed card is only 60 cents. Of course, if it were me, I would get the entire box set, especially if you are ordering from abroad. The box set is $30 without the box and $35 with the box. So you can expect to get something like this if you pay $35. Now the shipping will depend on where you are in the world, but in the mixed box set you can expect 50 species and 5 cultivars. In total it's 58 cards because of course there are information cards. I think you can expect to see much more of these in the videos, and I will rely on them to look up some information that I'm interested in, or at least to quickly glance to see where my Hoya is from. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that this will be my last Hoya haul, probably last, I will admit to, in this year. I may have hidden Hoyas. Well, I actually have to admit I did get a couple of Hoyas in between, but let's say if I did not record a video, it didn't happen, right? That's how this relationship works. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, well, you can click the button that's somewhere right here or right here. I'm not really sure how this mirroring thing works, but we will see where the button is. It will say subscribe, very easy to find. I will see you very, very soon. I do have a couple of more videos coming up, which I feel is something I say all the time, but I never deliver. Honestly, I will deliver. This time I have to. I have friends keeping me tied to this chair until my friend is here. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Not visually, clearly. Just the audio. Anyways, that's all for today. I will see you soon. Have a great afternoon or day or weekend or night whenever you're watching this video. And that's all.
Кажи да волим Каролину.
We also all love Carolina, my friend and me, because she also got some Hoyas from Carolina. But it's the ones that I already have, so you don't really need to see. You saw mine, so. My Hoyas are the best. I would like to thank my patrons, but I have Hoyas on my laptop. I thought you were supposed to take care of this. Where the fuck will they root all of these?
I don't know. I told you to buy some prop boxes.
I would like to take some time to thank my patrons. A big shout out for my $5 patrons. One anonymous patron, Betsy Begonia, Bonnie Harris, Kari, Danuk Daniels, Hoyas and Whatnots, Kelsey Jager, Kristen Sherwood, Mars B, Martina, Alif per day, Melissa Walker, Nicole Ferranti, PJ, Robin L. Jennings, Tanya TJWO, Vicky Dingler, Slakobni Pony, and Spinach Geek. Also, a big thank you to my $3 patrons, Angelina Farnan, April Arroyo, Brianna Phillips, Catherine G, Jerry's Garden, Lisa Helling, Lori Murphy, Morgan Kennedy, Nikki, and Ringlov. And a thank you to my $1 patrons, Caroline, Dinsla, Jacinta, and Valkyria S. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for deciding to support the channel. I hope that you're enjoying the videos, and I will be back very soon with more content both on Patreon and here. Have a wonderful day and see you soon. Bye!